evening, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversation with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla, my co-host Heather, and tonight we have a very special guest, one we've been trying to get on here for a while. Teri Lee, pure visionary psychic medium.
Oh, thank you so much. I finally made it.
You finally made it. I'm so excited. Hi, Amanda Carroll, Laura Hammond Davis, and Akila. Thanks for showing up tonight. We love it. We love it. So tonight we're actually going to talk about something that Teri Lee found on a short on YouTube. And I think I posted it in the description also, underneath Teri Lee's information, the description of the video. Good. So I don't know if everybody knows who Teri Lee is, but I would like to ask her a few questions before we get started on our other little project.
All right.
Because she may be new to some of you, and I really don't know Miss Teri Lee's background, even though she's one of the Wisdom Circle.
I really don't know.
I really don't know. So it's going to be kind of fun to see when her gifts started and when she started her spiritual path and that kind of stuff. You know, yep. I always find that interesting. And so many of us really got a Swiss kick up the butt during COVID, and it just accelerated everything. And I don't know if you're one of those or not.
Well, if we had been successful in getting you on before, we'd know that stuff already.
Oh, that's true.
Well, you know, the universe will unfold as it should.
That's right. That's right.
Positively. So, Teri Lee, when exactly did you get started? Have you always been able to talk to ghosts? Have you always had the gifts? I got started late in life. Heather was early in life.
I just didn't know it.
Well, to answer your question, I'll give you a brief background. Yes, I had spiritual connections when I was a young child. Definitely, my father was an alcoholic, and he had trouble with how do I want to put this?
Anger,
anger and harshness.
Yes. My father was an alcoholic too.
Yeah. So, but my mother was a devout Christian, and she a beautiful, beautiful woman who always wanted to help, always wanted to give. Now I have to backstep and say my dad did give me many beautiful gifts. He was a cowboy. He taught me to love horses. He taught me to love camping. He taught me to love nature and the mountains. So, you know, this is the way life works, right?
Yes.
But a lot of time in church and a lot of interest in spirituality. And I still remember sitting on the step with my older sister, who happened to be like 13 years older than me. My mom kind of had two families, same family, two families. And so I was sitting on the step with her, and I was really super young. I'm going to say 3 or 4. And she was just talking to me about, you know, Jesus and God and just chatting with me. And then she said something about eternity. And she goes, you know what eternity is, don't you? And I said, it's like a ring. And she was like blown away. And I was like,
3-year-old, I can imagine.
I heard this story later on in my life, obviously, but she said that you actually did. And you actually understood that. And I was okay. So even then, in a way, there was some form of kind of channeling and information going on. And I was in a lot of dangerous situations in my home. And as many people from families such as these, we develop an extrasensory because you'd get a vibe. And Priscilla, even though you say you just discovered him, I'll bet you had this too, where you could sense the vibe and the mood in the house,
sure.
in the family.
Absolutely.
Same thing with me. So, you know, my dad would walk in the door and I'd immediately, you know, assess the situation, you know, and either, you know, go give him a hug or just say hi and go to my room. So, you know, there was a lot of troubling events that happened in my life, but a lot of beautiful events, you know, and loved church, loved Jesus. I just love Jesus. I thought, that's right. That's the way I want to be. It's like Jesus. Now, as I grew a little bit older, in my early teens, I started to have a hunger and a thirst for different things. I read science fiction. I followed psychic mediums. I thought they were fascinating.
Me too.
Yeah. And Edgar Casey, that fascinated us. It was like a step by step, this information coming in. And every time I got more information, it enlightened me to look for other information. So I was very hungry for information.
And I read continuously. I just was an addict with reading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
share
thought
a
that
lot.
was our safe place.
Yeah, and we share a lot in common that way, and that thirst,
Mhm.
and that's that spark, that's that little kick your
I
guides
still
give you.
have that thirst.
I do too.
Yeah, I didn't have that thirst. I did a heck of a lot of reading, but most of it was escape.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
did that too.
yeah,
Some of that too.
yeah. I'm just giving you the outskirts of this, but yes,
Yeah,
indeed,
right. Yeah.
indeed, Heather, that's so true. So yeah, and then I married, had a terrible first marriage. I don't even want to go into that,
Me
but I
too.
had 3 beautiful, beautiful children. I mean, my life's focus was on those children.
Of course.
And but continue to learn and know more things about spirituality as well at the same time, but my attention was in that direction. So as they grew up and they started to leave home, and I had more attention to direct to my books and my interests, my relationship with my family was pretty good, but I had this thing with my blessed mom, and I just had to be honest with her. And we were talking one day, and I said, "Mom, I got to tell you something." I said, because she was kind of preaching. I said, "I got to tell you something, Mom. There's no hell. I just know it. I've always known it. Ever since I was a little kid, I was like, how can this be?" It was so conflicting to me.
I know it made no sense.
I used to ask questions like, "Well, what about the natives in the jungle?" And and they were like, "Oh, well."
Exactly.
Anyway, but I didn't do it
They
in the
couldn't
mean
answer
way.
those questions. They were like, go read your catechism.
Yes. Yeah, and there were so many things, like, I remember the Sunday school teachers talking about the unpardonable sin. That tortured me as a young person for years till I grew old.
Oh,
But, this is okay. This is all us learning in this magnificent school, right? So now I'm getting into this, and now I'm really getting the information from, I made a little list here. Okay, so Edgar Casey, Esther and Jerry Hicks.
I love them so much.
That information was the first thing that made my mind turn on and go,
No, the
yes.
secret, all of that at the same time was coming out. Oh my God.
Yeah. And now here's the thing. It's just I have a channeled writing I want to read tonight. It's being given to us. And if you look back, even, that intelligence that mankind receives, science, our governments, how this all progressed from the beginning of time. It's just amazing. And now we're lucky enough to be here to have access to all of this, and it's coming in so powerfully. So, yes, now I'll get to the point. I was on fire with reading all of these books. This is a true story. I had a dream one night, and I heard a voice in my dream say, "Deborah, remote viewing." And he said the second name, but I couldn't understand it. But I remembered. I woke up and I went, "Deborah, remote viewing." I've never had an experience like that in my dream.
Huh.
And so I Googled it, and there was only one remote viewer that came up, and it was Deborah Katz. And she has an amazing book. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. I can't think of it. Something about You Are Psychic, I think is what it's called. You Are Psychic. So that was my, like, who, maybe I'll check this out. Right?
Interesting. Robert Bullman was my first and he was he was about astral traveling and how to astral travel and the places that he went and how the universe is made up and what he discovered and blah blah. And that one just, holy guacamole, blew my mind. It just opened up everything.
And the thing that I found, there are two people that I found interesting, and one was Shirley MacLaine.
Oh,
Huh?
yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I love Shirley.
Out on a limb. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then
Amazing.
I also liked, and she was a psychic medium that would travel, and I can't remember her name. But she had so many books. Not Barbara.
The lady that did Seth Speaks.
Did what?
Seth Speaks. What was her name? I don't
know. I'm just.
Yeah. Ooh, I can't see her face, but I can't remember her name. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see her face because I actually went to go see her once.
Long dark hair.
No, she didn't. Of course, she was older when I saw her.
Oh.
But if I said her name, everybody would know who it was. But she was big, and her son took over the business, but he wasn't near as good as her. But it was still, those were the two people that I was interested in reading from.
Jane Roberts. Thank you, Cheryl.
Esther Hicks.
Roberts. She was the
Thank
one.
you, Jane Roberts. That's right. And you know, Esther Hicks was inspired by the Seth readings. She, that was one of the things that they looked into, and Jerry was interested in, and that's how they got started on their journey, which is kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I'll speed it up a little bit more. And it was 2018. So I'm really studying this stuff and really getting into it and going, oh, you know, there's been times in my life, many times when I've been talking to people and trying to help them, words will come out of my mouth. And then later on, I'll be like, you didn't say that. I don't know where that came from. Seriously.
Yeah.
So,
we understand.
So I look back in the past and started to put the puzzle pieces together and go, you know what? I think you're being called to do this. So I got very interested. And then I took a class. Right. From Susan and Medium Kim. Susan Lynn and Medium Kim. What a class. Wow. It was so many beautiful
our friends who took that class.
Sun Psychic Jean.
Yeah.
Teri Suzuki.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Allie. Them. Yeah. It just amazing. And we were all so hungry and thirsty, and we practiced with each other. And those first moments of terror. We did practices, and people are like, okay. And you're just like, okay, do it, you know, and they breathing and get your mind out of the picture.
I was so intimidated those first practices I did too. Oh
Yeah,
my God. So intimidated. And how much they helped.
Well, the thing of it is, when you get that, first it was the guides encouraging me. So I'm like, well, they wouldn't be bugging me. Because at that point, I realized all this time, I've been talking to my guides my whole life and didn't even realize what I was doing.
Right.
And so I thought, I just got to trust where I'm at, that they brought me here and I'm here for a reason. And I was reading, and this was the one that got me. And it was for a beautiful soul. And I won't say her name, it's personal, but I just went in to read for her. And I said, someone is here, and it's Ray. And she went like this. And I went like this. And it was her father who'd passed a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And then I went ahead and finished it. But afterwards, I was just like, oh, thank you. I just, that was the one that said, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, and you're doing this. And so I threw myself into it full force. And blessed people who I've interviewed, specials that I had on my show, blessed people who encouraged me and had me on their shows, as you do. And then lately I caught the bug of reading live once a week. So I do it.
I noticed you've been doing that.
I do it every Wednesday. It started out as an hour, and it's
part of our
an hour and a half. Pardon?
Oh my God! It goes to an hour and a half. Fantastic!
I keep telling myself to cut back, but I love it so much, and it empowers people out there, empowers the people in the chat, and it empowers me. So it's something I'll probably always do. I'm sorry.
I get the feeling when you get started, you just can't stop. You just keep going. Yeah, that's the way I am with remote viewing. You just I know it's going to take a long time because you can't do a short one. It's
and
like you're reading. You just can't
I've
read.
fallen in love with reading the Akashic records, and that's how I feel about reading the records. I
I
love reading the records. I could do it every day. I learn so much. It's fascinating. But
yeah, I've kind of expanded to that too, and I'm
mhm,
really loving that. And you know, I've had several very powerful experiences reading past lives. Woo, like you're
mhm.
there. You're like there. So it's interesting how we all have these interests and these different talents, unique, you know, and that's the one thing I love to repeat it. The guides told me that every soul that is created has a unique contribution to the cosmic consciousness of the internets, the universes. I'm sorry, not internets, the universes.
The
So think about,
multiverse. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I believe that's true.
I do too.
And
Well,
that's why
told me.
it makes it so much easier to love everyone in spite of their actions.
That's right.
No matter what I know about you, I know that you're important or you wouldn't be here.
That's right. Beautiful. And, you know, just because, you know, perhaps somebody's being angry with you, even if you're an empath, you don't have to be hurt by that anger.
Mhm.
You can, just as you said, namaste, I recognize you as a spark of the divine and a soul going through the lifetime on this planet Earth. Right.
Exactly.
So, and then you can just give them light and wish them well.
Absolutely. I love that. I love
So
it.
that's kind of where I'm at now. And I'm looking in the future to do some more recorded shows and kind of getting nudged to do some classes. And so, you know,
Oh, fantastic.
we're excited about that.
What
Yeah.
kind of classes are you going to do?
Well, I don't want to give too much away
Okay.
because it's still in the works. But I noticed in a lot of my shows, my live reading shows, that some people were asking, and younger people are interested, which has always been my prayer. I would love to have more and more younger people come in and join with us and learn this because it's essential right now at this time on planet. It's essential.
You can see they're starting to stand up and become aware,
There's a
paying
lot.
attention. There's a
Yes.
lot out there paying attention. They don't know what they're paying attention to yet, but they got that feeling.
You're absolutely right. It's
I can
happening.
see it in my grandkids.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they're 18 and 22, so they're that age.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine are a lot younger, but you know, wow. They're just wow. I don't know how to say it. Their vibration is so much
It's
different
so different.
in spite of growing up in all this chaos.
I know.
In spite of what they went through 2020, you know, in spite of that,
Mhm.
just beautiful. And I was with my younger granddaughter today. We took a walk. We took our dogs for this beautiful walk in this beautiful place. And I can't give too much of it away, but it's a beautiful estate. Okay.
Right.
So we're walking in this estate and she's just like, Gigi, Gigi, I'm gonna manifest this as my house. I'm gonna manifest this. I think that this should be my house and I'm gonna manifest it. I'm like, you go right ahead.
Right on. There you go, girl.
I'm not saying covet it. I'm not saying take it away from him, but just manifest because, hey, you're a powerful soul. You go right ahead. And so I just jump right in with her and we just talk about how we love the trees and the grass. And then she's like, what color should I paint the house?
I love it.
I'm like, you are good.
Yeah. And how old is she?
She's 13.
Oh, I love it.
She's fantastic. She reads tarot. She's just gravitated to it ever since a young age. She loves oracle cards. She's very much into it. She is. And so
one that's into the witchy stuff, and then one that is totally scientific.
oh well,
We'll
we
get
can
there.
we can talk about that today because that's all.
Science is catching up.
Yes.
Oh, it absolutely is. It really is. Well, speaking of manifesting, I want to do a little presentation that Teri brought to our awareness. And it was just so fun and so succinct.
Can I back it up just a minute? I don't mean to interrupt.
Please do.
I just want to preface this with saying, if you are curious, if you are searching, if you are wondering what this is all about, get out and open your mind and ask your guides to show you things. Now,
We
They
have
show me.
to ask for them to interfere, for them to get involved.
That's
We have
right.
to ask.
It's like flipping a switch.
They're
And
not going to just come over and
every-
go, hey, here I am. Let me help.
Yep.
every day.
Unless you ask first.
I get books. I find things on YouTube, things pop up as this one did. And it fits in with all the other stuff. It's like a puzzle, and that's how I ran into this little short. So
And I think your granddaughter must have seen it.
It is cute.
I think so.
Okay.
I were standing in your physical shoes, I would let myself hope for outrageously wonderful things to come to me. And I would test the universe. I would say, universe, if I'm so good, show me. If I'm so worthy, show me. Not if I'm so bad, make it better. Opposite, that doesn't work. If I'm so good, show me. If I am a blessed being, then let the blessings start pouring into my experience. If I'm wise, let me be smart. If I'm blessed, then I want to be happy. You just got to play this game a little bit differently than you've been playing it. And just the slightest little shift in understanding who you are. If I were standing in your physical shoes.
Sorry. Would you like me to play it again, or is once enough?
I think once enough.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. I put the link in the description so everybody can see it. I'm going to flip you back up top because it makes me happier there.
So when I knew this show was coming up, by the way, I always talk to the guides before even, my Wednesday shows. I said, what's the message today? And we have a little chat. They said it's so important right now, this moment in time, to talk about who we truly are, who you truly are. And that's part of the message that came, was that little short. And it's about understanding that it's I kind of starting to describe it because the science is catching up, and it's technical, and a lot of people just like, that's mumbo jumbo. I don't know if I can stay with it. I put a link in my community page to a show that has Robert Edward Grant, who's one of my favorites to listen to. I
don't know who that is.
Oh, well, you're about to find out. You go to my community channel.
I will.
He's amazing. He is amazing. And I don't want to get into it too much, but he is very well educated. He had a show on Gaia about sacred geometry. He is spiritually educated, and he is, I believe, he is a prophet of the new realms, the new ideas that we're now being presented with, because they're far greater. And my guides and souls on the other side have told me it's wilder than your wildest dreams. You can't, we're just beginning. We're just getting this. So when you lift up your vibration, meditation, with music, I just spent 10 days in the mountains. I came home so high. I'm still high on it. It was so powerful. And you ladies know, you get messages in those mountains. I mean,
I go up to the mountain every day. Well, not every day, but darn near every single day. I go up to Horsetooth Reservoir, which is my little mountain. And some days I do short drives, and some days I do longer drives.
Yeah.
But I have to smell and feel that air.
Mm-hmm.
The mountain vibes.
The thing is, the more we realize that we're this soul that is here to learn, it's school, right? But also to enjoy. All of this is, for our enjoyment, our love and our care for each other. I live in the mountains, and I have this beautiful backyard. I have squirrels. I have every kind of bird you can imagine. Well, of course, I feed them all,
Yeah, of course.
But now this little family of quail. Now, quail, I don't know if you guys know quail, but they're shy. They're very shy.
Very shy.
They have moved into my backyard. The
Oh,
first
I
day they
love
came, I was like, okay, they're moving through, and I kept the dogs away, right? The first day they came, and I was like, oh, I love this. This is amazing. I love it, and I just relished it. Well, they moved in, and they're living in a giant pine tree that I'm looking at right now. They fly up there. Now the thing is, I have these dogs I have to let out, right? They're all functioning together. The squirrels, the
Don't you
dogs,
love it?
else. It's just like I have a rabbit that lives in my front yard and a deer that comes and visits frequently. So it's like,
I love that.
but
I don't have any in my yard, but I do see a
You have your own menagerie.
but I'm saying this to say when you just start to be so grateful and thankful that you begin to welcome things in, and the same thing with the hunger for books and information. I love this. And you say to the universe, more of this, please.
yes,
This,
I'll
this,
take more.
yeah. And so you get up on that higher level. Well, this game that she's playing. A lot of people's like, what a bunch of malarkey is that? Play it.
Right.
And not only that, I told the universe, you can surprise me. But I said, I really want to play. I want to play with the universe every day. I want to play with this every day. And I never fail to experience something that day that goes, oh, that makes me go, that's it. We're playing
I love it.
the universe.
I just started. I just started. Diane G, are you a Disney princess, Teri?
I know.
It's so cute. I love gathering all the animals around you.
Oh, there's some people who have called me terminally perky.
Oh well, there's worse things.
Not a bad way to be. Huh?
There are worse things than that.
Yes.
Amen.
But yeah, I love the chat that's going on out here. I've been noticing people talking about things they've experienced, shows they like, books they like. It's so exciting that we also have this amazing ability to share with people all over the world, right?
Not only that, but with people that are on the same page as you.
Yes.
What's so amazing is this community that has been building and building and building. I am so grateful for this community. Oh my God.
I start I have a little altar in my office.
Me
And
too.
it's got rocks and feathers and a couple of little statue things. And then this giant picture I took when I was on my big photography jag and I was in Moab. And I was so
cool.
just desperate to take a good picture. Photography, you're like, okay, what do I do? Where do I get this picture? And it caught me by surprise in the desert. This beautiful rain came down and it was pink. It reflected on bedrock. And, I love it. So that's a magical moment that I like to remember that in fact was the universe playing with me. It was.
It is. Yeah.
So I have this prayer of dedication, and I always I have these little things called soul shakers that I got years ago in a little ceramic shop. They're just, I'll have to show up to me sometime, but they're just little ceramic shakers with little faces on them. And I met this lady and I go, what are these? I have to have them. And she goes, well, we call them soul shakers. And I'm like, I'll take 2.
Cute.
And so I shake these because that brings my physical body, my mind, and my soul all in the same position with that intention. And then I always say, great creator, and I don't give the whole thing, but I'm eternally grateful for this lifetime on planet Earth. I'm eternally grateful for this lifetime on planet Earth because I'm seeing every moment of it, past, present, and future, right? And seeing the beauty of it and having done some work on my past so that now I have a completely different past. I mean, I told you the rational side of it, but that I look back now and like I said, I know all the beautiful gifts my dad gave me. And
I feel the same way. I think that's super important. These people that are adults that are still angry with their parents for whatever horrible childhood they had. We all had.
There's always something.
Come on. 90% of us had issues with our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at my parents anymore. And I'm, like you say, I'm really grateful. My dad gave me such incredible gifts. That
Yeah.
my spirituality, my curiosity, my love for watercolors, my love, like you, for the outdoors. And my
Yes.
mother, who was a very society conscious Virgo,
Oh, yes.
gave me a love for nice things.
Yes.
She gave
Lovely.
me, she gave me knowledge and responsibility. You know,
Nice.
you can, whatever it is, you can find good things that your parents
Yes.
have
And
done good for you.
even our ex-husbands.
Even I forgave mine so much I buried him last year.
Oh, my best. I
Yeah.
always just after I got out of it, and it took me a long time. These are all soul lessons,
Oh
so we have
yeah.
to learn, right? And I immediately when we divorced, I said, I'm not going to say negative things. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to raise my kids with the general idea that he is who he is, right? I'm not going to complain about him or say I was victimized by him. Okay, but it came to a point where it's the same thing. I realized some of the wonderful times that we did have, and
And you
thank
could.
God for my beautiful children. I wouldn't trade
No,
them for anything in the
I
whole
would trade my
world.
daughter for anything.
Yeah, see,
Trade him,
all
but
arranged. It's all arranged. It's all planned. And when he
yeah,
passed away, I just always, it was sad, but I just prayed for his soul.
yeah.
Wished
I
him a
don't think you even
happy
need to pray
journey.
for it, so
That's
I'm
how
sure his
people
soul's
do.
just fine.
But these are all things that set us free, you know.
Mhm.
And we discussed the power of releasing judgment on the wisdom circle. That's another.
Exactly.
These
That's
are all things that, we climb up, and I have some new ones I want to recommend to you, ladies. Some new
ooh.
insights. Now, first of all, go to my community page and watch that. The show that it's being presented on is called Next Level Soul. Now, I love this show, but somebody who controls their their thumbnails, it's always some kind of panic message.
I know, right?
That's a big deal on
I do
YouTube.
watch his shows.
So lots of times I'm like, oh man. And some of them I watch and I really get into, and others I
Me,
watch,
me
you use
too.
your discernment. And you're like, yeah, okay, all right. You go on. That's good. But yeah, Robert Edward Grant is just an amazing, amazing person. And he actually, like I said, he's on Gaia with sacred geometry, but he's got his own channel, I think, too, that I haven't had a chance to check into too much. But I found this conversation fascinating because the addition of the other person conversing ideas.
Right.
And then they started out with fairies and dragons. How could I pull away from that conversation?
Well, exactly. I'm not sure I could.
Right.
And I
You
didn't,
don't need
and I
it.
encourage you not to.
Yes.
Super cool. So, let's see. Here's my latest. The Book of Mastery. And I shared it with you, ladies.
You
Did-
did?
And it is truly amazing. It's by a channeler. His name is Paul Selig. And it's one of those where you read a chapter and you go back and read a chapter and you go back. But
Right.
that's cool. It's also on audio, and that it's easy to listen to that way as well. But I ended up buying the book. I started with the audio and bought the book because I thought there's things in here I need to like write down and put on my mirror. So I'm still enjoying that. And then of course, if you haven't read Journey of Souls and Destiny of Souls, that's an all-time. That one kicked me into high gear too. It helped me understand a lot of the things when I started doing psychic reading.
Who's that by?
Oh,
Is that
that's
you
by
too?
Michael Newton. Here's the
Haven't
Destiny.
read that one either. Destiny of Souls.
Start with Journey of Souls and then go on to this. But I'll tell you what, these particular two, what's the audio book app? I can't think right now because my brain's going 900 miles an hour, but they're on there also. And I read the book first and then found the audio to be much more entertaining and exciting because you feel the conversation. Sometimes when you're reading
All
a
right.
book, whew, powerful stuff.
It's a conversation between.
So he is started out very much like Dolores Cannon.
Mhm.
So he was regressing people back. And I think in the beginning it was sort of a psychiatrist sort of mode.
Right.
And he
Sure.
became curious and he began to find a lot of common themes that went through these people speaking under hypnosis.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, cool. Yes. Awesome.
Her jaw dropped a couple of times.
Yeah. And that was very exciting because I got that real early in my psychic medium on YouTube journey, and it blew my mind up. And it helped me when I was reading, and I would sense things about souls, and I understood things, for certain. You know, it opened me up to trust that. Is it clairsentience? Where you just know, right?
That's really, I've had the clairsentience most of my life.
That's
When I would just know things. Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. You know,
See, that was
it was
the
like
way.
you say, something comes out of your mouth and you're like, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's a great one. I love that. I'm really into the animal totems now. I'm reading a new animal totem book and just exploring all over. And yeah, it's a fantastic journey that we're all on. But I think it's so important. And that's what the Paul Selig book, the Book of Mastery, it is teaching you.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things he gives you to say, and boy, is this powerful because I've been using it. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. I am here. I am here. I am here. Oh, it's, when your mind kind of gets rolling or things get tense or you need something to focus on when you're meditating or grounding outside.
Oh, God, I forgot to put up the damn banner I had. I made you a special banner, and then I forgot to put it up.
Oh, thank you.
This at Pure Visionary Psychic Medium is Teri's channel on YouTube. And there it is. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Please.
Or just look up DisneyFairy.com. No, I'm just kidding.
DisneyPrincess.com.
Disney Princess, sorry.
That's right. I love that with all the animals surrounding you. That was Snow White, the one that was really the animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although Cinderella too. Cinderella had
Yeah, but I think you're right. Snow White. I can still see her doing that.
Yeah.
With all the animals in the forest.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So
Okay.
It's exciting to share with everyone too. And that's another way we all grow. And you'll hear somebody say
is. And when Heather and I are researching our shows, we'll take subjects that I think I know something about, and boy, do I know nothing. Learning.
Have you seen the last one that I sent you?
No, I have not.
Oh,
wait until you do.
Get ready, everyone.
It's our Tuesday show, which is going to be on downloads.
But it's not just downloads. It's the solar flare downloads.
Oh, actually, was it yesterday? Yesterday or Wednesday?
I think
no, it was Friday. We had a CME arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are days ago.
Those are
they really affect me. They affect my.
Well, they should. After all the research that I did on, yes, you're going to love them.
Oh, I can't wait.
You can leave the first half out. That's just kind of like an introduction. The rest of it is solar flares, and it's really unbelievable.
Well, that's kind of what started us going down this rabbit hole. Is that we were talking about science catching up with spirituality, and the scientists are calling it we're living in a matrix, and we can call it we're living in a
quantum field, which we know is.
And I'm calling it spiritual virtual reality because that's
spiritual virtual reality.
I used to play role-playing games with my kids when they were growing up on video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You ever played any of those? And I can't think of the names of them now, but it's usually some little person or character that's on a little journey, and he's got.
Oh yeah, I did that with my
mission.
daughter, but I
Okay,
mostly
you know,
did
when
it
you
with my
run into
sister.
somebody in the video and they come in and you talk to them and you learn stuff, and then you go get some stuff, pick it up, put it in your bag.
Yeah, loved
And then
playing those.
when I started learning all this stuff, I thought, you know what, I feel like I'm playing a role playing game here, but it it is important for us to realize that even though there are so many things that are so large right now in our life, that we are on a journey, and it's a powerful, happy spiritual journey. And when you know you're an eternal soul, and when you know that there is no death, it makes a huge difference. You
It
Oh,
makes
it
an
does.
enormous
you
difference.
release a lot of the fear.
We did a show one time. Heather and I did a show on how we felt, or maybe it was a wisdom circle, wouldn't it? How different it felt like from when my father died in 1990. How I reacted to that death as opposed to my husband who died in 2015, and how I reacted
To
to
that.
that passing.
Yeah.
It's
It was like
180 degrees.
this is us before we studied and switched over, and this is us afterwards. And
Oh yeah.
It's just amazing the lack of fear, the lack of pain, the lack of grief. Not that I didn't feel grief. I still miss David to this day. He was fun. I miss
Oh
him.
yeah, of course.
But well, he's one of my guides. He was my first guide, so he's still hanging around. He's always around. But even without that, I knew that he was safe and that I'd see him again. That
Yes. And
he'd go
here's
on
the
and on
thing.
and on.
Here's the thing. I just got this too. We go through these things and we go, wow, I'm really changing. No, you're actually becoming who you really are.
Exactly.
that's right.
We're
You're shedding
dropping
your skin.
all the matrix, all the programming, and deprogramming ourselves.
Yep, the
Yeah.
density, that old dead skin, just like a snake. In fact, in a lot of beliefs, ancient beliefs, the snakes were sacred because
Oh,
of that,
Yeah.
because they renewed.
That's right.
So I just love that, though, that we're becoming who we really are. And
Right.
it's a powerful thing. I'm thinking, I'm going to ask them what.
We're shedding all the crap that we have piled on us.
Here's
I-
a good question, you guys.
Okay.
From Diane G. Priscilla, you mentioned your love going into the Akashic Records, and Heather goes remote viewing. I know Teri does mediumship and everything under the sun. Any tips on how we can find our niche?
Oh, I love that, Diane. Good question.
Great question. And I'm going to take it off because it's covering us.
I was going to say, as far as, okay, those are things that you know that we do. And there are things that we do better than we do some other things, but we do a lot of different things.
There is no niche.
There is no niche. It's
Yeah.
just a great big thing, and this happens to be more in tune with what we're doing, so let's do this, because
And
as far as that goes, Priscilla and I heal, and and that is that has been our main thing, is healing.
Yes.
Energy healing. Hang on a minute. Let me go back to this one.
I love that question too, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to it, but I'm not finished with
Okay.
Diane's question. Because, Diane, I tried different classes to try different things. I'm not great at mediumship. So right now I'm practicing my mediumship. So I
I was
can
going to say,
at it.
any day now, Priscilla.
You know what I mean? I took an Akashic Records class and found out I absolutely love Akashic Records readings.
Yeah.
I love to heal. I love doing energy work with Heather.
Yeah.
It just seems to be whatever spirit has the need for at the time is what I'm doing. And that I think is the best answer for anybody. Whatever you feel like doing is where you need to be.
Right.
I
And
have
if you practice doing it, it just gets stronger and
And
stronger.
it gets stronger and stronger and stronger.
I have to speak out and say this. If you don't know, if you want to know, get a reading.
Good reading.
Good
Good idea.
established psychic medium the first thing I do, well, and I'm not trying to promote my own thing, but the first thing I do though, when we go in, we do a dedication prayer, but then I go in and read their energy first. And many times you can seek that out in a reading from so many really good psychic mediums.
Well, let's see how many are in the room right now.
Yeah, probably.
Even
There's three
reading,
right here on the screen. There's three great psychic mediums here on the screen. There are several in the chat at the moment. You know who they are, you guys. And if you don't, ask.
and I was going to say, when you're talking about before you do a reading, you read their energy. Even that is a skill.
It is.
If I may say so, one of the first things that pushed me to and nudged me to take that class was I got an astrological reading, and I was told you have, and I can't remember what it is now, but some certain combination, and you have psychic abilities, and I was like, I do, and he's like, yeah, it's like you really do. It's
That's how I did the healing. I kept having readers tell me, "You're a healer. You need to go heal." And I'm like, "No, I was a nurse. I don't want to touch anybody anymore. I'm not doing that." And then I found Eric Pearl, which the reconnection doesn't require actual physical touch. And I was on that like a rooster on a June bug.
And believe it or not, and this is funny because it just came to me, was that the reason you and I found each other is because the people that I was associated with, I knew I was a healer and was not being allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how you and I found each other, is because I was looking for someplace I could do what I know I should be doing.
And here's how Spirit led you to me. My website came up on her computer 3 times.
Yes.
Just out of the
The
blue.
very first one, 3 times.
Yeah.
And I said,
I
okay,
did.
I'm going.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the most important thing is if you speak this journey out loud, right? That I'm at this point where I'm ready to take that step forward. Show me. And it will come. They are guides are committed to answering. If you ask them a question, they will answer it. Just watch the signs. They will do it.
You do have to pay attention because sometimes it's very subtle. Now, I asked the universe to be very clear, since I'm not good at subtlety, you're going to have to knock me over the head with it. And that's exactly what they did when they
You can have a choice.
No, I did not. When they asked me to start the channel, and I said, no, for about 18 months. And finally I said, fine, I'm doing it. I'll start the channel, but you got to send me the experts because I know nothing. What did they send me? A 5-time Emmy producing winner.
He just won
Emmy
another
winner
one.
for producing the news,
one.
and he just won his 6th one. And he's the one that we met in a restaurant, and 3 months later, our channel was started.
Oh yeah, I love it. So what was that question we had before? I thought that was it.
I got it. Hang on. Here we go.
Because this is so a very powerful question that we all feel. So the construct of reality. Yeah. Go ahead.
From my point of view, that was my upbringing. So what you basically have to do is start believing in yourself and having faith that what you're thinking is actually coming to you. And it takes a long time to believe that. And it takes a long time to have the faith that the answers that you're getting from inside are right. But you have to remember that inside you are all of the answers. You just need to ask and listen to the answers. And you have to believe. And it's completely contrary to everything else you've ever learned. Like I said, this is where I grew up. It wasn't until I was much, much older, almost retired that I finally stood up and said, this isn't right. I know that what I'm thinking is right.
Hey, it's
Great question.
it can start back with understanding, and we'll bring science back into it. Everything is vibration. Everything is energy. So if you can just release that whole, physical action kind of thing that we have, where this and that, and then this and that, A B C D E F G, right? You
Yeah.
just release that just a little bit and start to raise your vibration. Start to feel when you're walking in the grocery store. There's sometimes my vibration gets so high it doesn't even feel real in the grocery store, because it's like you begin to send your vibration out, loving, caring, hoping, wishing all your dreams, that wonderful feeling of being lifted up and feeling the love of the creator. You are loved beyond measure, beyond measure. And you're here, and the creator loves you, and your guides love you, and your angels are surrounding you. You have every tool. When you landed on this planet, you had every tool you needed. It just was the agreement to come through so many things, because I asked God once. I said, a lot of psychic mediums are just, they're born psychic mediums, right? How come I had to go through all this stuff? And the reply was, because you have a certain understanding, knowledge, and empathy for people who have gone through what you've gone, who've had children and no support, and children who didn't have parents, and you see, so you get all these experiences. Not that everybody has to have them, but we signed up for them. Geology, geography, French, right? We're up there going, okay, guys, I want to, and this is the intense time of the planet, where we have the ability to learn multiple things all right now. So it's just releasing that. Sometimes when people say, well, how come there's some people that they can't see it? They don't understand. They don't see this, even the stuff that's actually happening to us, like planet climate change, right?
My family can't even see it when I get parking places. They can't. Every time there's the parking god, and it's like, so it just goes over their heads.
Right.
And what's funny is my dad he firmly believed that there was always going to be a parking place where he needed it.
And
he didn't believe in anything spiritual. He didn't believe anything else that I believed, but he believed that the parking place was always going to be there, and it was.
And it was.
That was his intention. He made an intention. We're that powerful. We don't even have to understand. An explanation I was given, though, once was, some people need black and white. They don't like gray. They don't like violet.
Truth.
They don't like shadows. They don't want to investigate. They need black and white. Just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do to be rich. Just tell me what to do. And then when you start to explain it to them, they're like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All of this leads us to that trust. Trust is the big word. Trust, trust, trust. Open yourself up. You're not going to be hurt, I guarantee you. And you will never regret opening that door and saying, okay, universe, show me.
I don't regret
the universe. That's the name of the show.
Exactly. I don't regret 1 second of it.
Me neither.
1 second. I'm just glad I woke up when I woke up.
Yeah. Yeah. Aren't we blessed?
Mm-hmm.
And that includes all things in the past, the tough things, tough things.
Well, we wouldn't be who we are today without our past. So we just have to.
And we wouldn't be able to relate if we didn't have it.
Exactly.
So it's important.
Yes,
absolutely. So thank you for that question. I hope that helped. Let us know if you thought that was
let us know if we answered your question.
Exactly.
I actually thought her question was more about how do we be our true selves in this society, and I just say you need to be your authentic self. The stigma. I always be who you are. Excuse my French, but fuck them if they can't take a joke. That's how I feel. Since I retired, This lady is not apologizing for who she is.
Thank you, Priscilla. I definitely missed that point. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say psychic medium and just wait and see what happens.
Me
But so
too.
many times,
And I almost do it just to see what will happen. And I don't know, maybe sometimes I'm naughty like that, but I almost do it just
so that you
the
can stand
reaction.
out.
well, I don't want to insult anybody, but I just said this the other day. There's certain, I'll put this generally, there's certain religious groups that feel the obligation to go door to door to talk to people
Oh my God.
about their beliefs and hand them the little flyers and stuff. I open the door and I'm like, hey, this is so nice to see you. Oh, yeah, you've come to share with me. I appreciate that you love something and you really share, I understand that. And they're like, oh, what do you do? And I go, I'm a psychic medium. Okay. Okay, thank you. Here's our flyer.
And they run away. So funny. Yes, I've
Weren't they a pet peeve of David's?
What?
Were they a pet peeve of David's? She said.
Well, we didn't have them out in the country. We didn't have them out in the country. He may have had them in England. I don't remember, but we don't have. Nobody could get to our door.
Yeah. Now, my mom, she'd invite them in. She'd invite them in, and she opened up her Bible, and she'd be like, beep, 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 beep.
How cute is that? Isn't that cute? I don't have time for them. I tell them I'm an atheist. And send them we'll pray for you. You do that.
You do that. Knock your lights.
Well, the thing of it is, there's a place for that. There is a place. And if we come beyond it, fine. And I still absolutely love and adore and pray for all the people I know that are involved in that. And
you too, but they're not knocking on my door.
No, they aren't.
Knocking on my door.
You're excused.
If you're foolish enough to come to this bright blue house with prayer flags on it and knock on the door, then
it's just so fun. It's just so fun, though.
Yeah, there was people, well, I don't know. I'm sure you got rid of the praying mantis.
Yeah.
There was one time a lady knocked on the door and she started talking to me and she goes, yes, and your soul will die. And I just paused for a minute and I said, energy created cannot be destroyed.
Oh, it's the dogma that they spout, that they don't understand, that they just blindly believe. Yeah. And I don't care whether it's religion or anything else, to blindly believe what you're told by a third party is just insane, without using your feelings and your discernment and your knowledge.
But I really think some of them, when they really think about what they've been talking about, change.
Yeah.
It puts a little seed in there.
It does.
Here's the thing too. These people are seeking.
They are.
They're seeking. They're looking for it. So you got to give them credit for that.
Absolutely.
They're not utterly blind. And no, when I'm dead, I'm buried in the grave. Yeah. There's those guys too. Yeah. So you have to give them that credit for at least trying and believing in their beliefs, and that's all that love. I mean,
yeah.
Jesus loves them all.
The Creator loves them all. Any entity that I find in my house, and if you're not here with my highest good and unconditional love, be gone with love and don't ever come back.
Yep. Beautiful.
So I send them away with love.
Yes, absolutely.
Me too.
In my own little way, I do. But and I do. Well, I'm surrounded here. I live in Idaho.
Look at Laura.
I love you.
But
I like the Laura Hammond's comment.
Yes, what was that?
I'm not stigmatized. I'm certified.
Girl, you got it going on. That's it.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Hey, ladies, it's about time.
Yes, it is. But this has been lots of fun.
Oh, it was interesting. I always like to dot my I's and cross my T's. So I have my whole desk filled with things like this, and this. And then I went to the guides and I'm like, now, and they're like, just let it flow, Teri. If it doesn't come up, it's not supposed to, it's just,
Exactly.
and it flows
Exactly.
so lovely, ladies, so perfectly.
It worked out just
worked out.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And we
You guys,
appreciate
please
your
go
presence.
please go over and like Teri's channel.
Yes, please.
It's at Pure Visionary Psychic Medium. And that's it. That's all you got to do. At Pure Visionary Psychic Medium, and you'll be on her channel.
And if you'd like a reading, I'm at purevisionarypsychic.com.
And all that information is in the description of
Thank
our
you, Priscilla.
show. At the very top of the page, as is the link to that wonderful little short that you got us. So you guys, please go hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the notification button and subscribe to both channels if you don't mind. We'd really appreciate it.
Yes.
And Teri Lee, when are you on next?
Oh gosh. Woo! You just
I know. I just went, oh, I forgot.
I'll be on live next Wednesday, and
every Wednesday.
Have the day. Yes. Well, that Wednesday, and then I'm not sure about the next Wednesday. I'm getting ready to do a little Western adventure here, so I might have to take a day or two off. But
and aren't we the ladies going to get together early?
You're a week early, honey.
Just a week.
You're just a week early. I
Sep-
don't even know what
September 2nd, and I'm
Not
sorry,
this Monday, then Monday
I won't
after.
be on that show.
Monday after. But we have Tuesday. We have the what's our show Tuesday? Hello.
Downloads.
And the next weekend is Valerie with
yeah.
New Moon
And
and whatever else is going on in the sky. And I don't know if you all realize it, but there is tons of stuff that continues to go on in our skies. All these aspects, and she's great at explaining those.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
She's going to be on next Saturday. And then I don't know after that. I have to look and see. I can't
Well, I can tell you September 2nd, the Wisdom Circle.
And whose wisdom circle is it?
I think it's Teri's, but I'm not sure.
Teri. And what? Yeah.
I'm sad. I'm sad and sorry that I know this because I'm not going to be able to make it. I have to work. I have to work.
You make most of them, so don't worry about it.
Oh,
there's enough of us.
And next month will be moi.
Cool. Goes fast.
It does.
You guys, thanks for being here tonight. We so appreciate you being here. Go out and shine your light. Let your freak flag fly. Be your authentic self and help this planet ascend.
And spread out all of that loving energy.
Beautiful.
Include yourself in it.
Teri, thanks again for being here.
Thank you, Teri.
Good night, everybody.
My honor. Namaste.